Hi, I'm Spencer White with the Benzinga News Desk. I'm here with Benzinga Managing Editor Jason Chibnall, and we're going to be talking about the recently passed Detroit icon, Mike Ilitch.
Yeah, and the story of Mike Ilitch goes back all the way to his parents, who are both immigrants from Macedonia, and they came to the United States and started a small business here in Detroit. And then, as Mike got older, he joined the Marine Corps for a few years. He tried his hand at Major League Baseball in the Tigers farm system, actually. But when that didn't work out, injury cut his career short. He decided to start a pizza business. It's something he always wanted to do. It's something he always talked about with his minor league teammates. And they thought he was crazy because there was never a nationwide pizza chain like that. And so he kind of got the ball rolling, and he turned Little Caesars into what is now the third largest pizza chain in the world, behind Domino's and Pizza Hut itself. And that's kind of his lasting impact, at least from an entrepreneurial business perspective. But he's definitely had a bigger impact, both positive and negative, on the city of Detroit itself.
Yeah. So he was the original pizza disruptor, I guess, and also Ilitch he was a precursor to some of the trends that we're seeing happen in Detroit right now, like downtown development and revitalization efforts. In 1988, Ilitch moved the Little Caesars Pizza headquarters to the renovated Fox Theater in downtown Detroit, moving jobs and excitement back to the downtown area, which had been depressed for a little while. But besides that, Ilitch had sort of a mixed record with his relationships with the public and his employees. Ilitch projects have a history of taking public funding for massive projects. For example, the new Little Caesars Arena, where the Detroit Red Wings and Pistons will be playing next year, took nearly $300 million in public money in the form of taxpayer bonds and tax captures for a $600 million project. There's instances of Ilitch having clashes with his labor, even professional baseball players. In the 1995 lockout, Ilitch demanded that Tigers manager Sparky Anderson use scab players. Sparky refused and later called that the proudest moment of his career.
And Sparky's a guy who had 3 world titles underneath his belt too, so he definitely had a little bit more to cheer about for himself.
Yeah, exactly. So even though, despite that mixed record, we can definitely see Ilitch as someone who had the foresight to invest in Detroit before it was cool.
For sure, and again, that starts with the sports scene. He bought the Detroit Red Wings in 1982. He bought the Detroit Tigers in 1993, and he kind of turned both those franchises around. The Red Wings hadn't won a Stanley Cup in 42 years. They've since won 4 since he took over. And the Tigers hadn't won a World Series since 1984, and they've been to 2 in the last decade ever since he started putting more resources into turning the Tigers around. And so he may have had a mixed record on the city itself, but he's definitely helped bring people downtown and helped lift our spirits through these various mediums and through our sports teams, which a lot of people look to during those downtrodden times.
So despite that mixed record, you can make the case that Ilitch foresaw some of the trends we're seeing play out in Detroit, such as the revitalization of the downtown core. For more on Ilitch and the resurgence of Detroit, check out Benzinga.com.
Thank you for watching.